Let's get it. Welcome to the Wheel Watch channel. I'm one half of the team, Shaq. We got a very, very good discussion today. Uh, just gonna get right into it. But before we get into it, you guys know, go ahead, drop that beat. Welcome back to the Wheel Watch channel. One half of the team, Shaq. As I mentioned, we got a very, very good topic that's programmed and outlined today. We're gonna have a wonderful discussion, as you can see. I got the OGs with me, so we're gonna have a lot of good conversation in the discussion. But I'm disappointed. I'm disgusted. It's sad. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the act of Ja Morant and how the world views. But normally I would just go dive in and go right straight at Ja Morant because I think he a fool of 2023. But I'm gonna just sit back and let the OGs. I need to hear what they got to say. So y'all could just go around, introduce yourself, and we can get right straight into this conversation. But first, start with Brian. What you got to say with Ja Morant in these world reviews? Because he the biggest fool of 2023 to me.
Hey, I'm no stranger to this YouTube channel. I'm Brian Greenlee, and I've been on the show several times before. We talked about thought-provoking subjects all the time, and this is one that it started out in a text thread that got real interesting. I was like, man, we got to put this in a podcast setting. And I think I understand where Shaq is coming from, but he hasn't revealed his actual stance. But you kind of see how he opened it up. He might not be too favorable to Jay Morant. Me, on the other hand, I'm looking at it from two perspectives. Number one, did he break any laws? Did he break any laws? He certainly didn't. And we've seen throughout, even we don't have to go too far back. Just in recent months, we've seen people take photographs with weapons, parents, wife, husband, kids, all having AR-15s, proudly standing before a camera. And I don't see nobody going up in uproar. And these are the people that make laws that that affects our lives. Jay Morant don't affect my life. So why are we coming so hard on this man? And then on top of that, and I think it's alleged, but being suspended for half of the season, at least $20 million, I think that's just too harsh for something that he didn't break no laws. That's my initial stance.
All right, Terrence Copeland, one of the old school guys on the channel. Not as old as a couple of my other partners, but like I said, I agree with everything. I agree with everything Brian said. You know, he's 23. He didn't break any laws, and it's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when we do it. Is how this is going. Yeah, he is a role model. He is one of our star athletes that's a public figure that gets paid millions of dollars to do what he's good at. Him being a young 23-year-old athlete and still having to live his life on and off the court and in front of the camera, I don't see that he did anything wrong for his age. I mean, yeah, it does show the immaturity, and it does show that there should be some growth there, but I don't see a reason for him to be suspended. I don't see a reason for him to lose money behind it. I don't see the politicians that do it lose money behind it.
Hey, I'm out today. You know, I'm one of the what they call OGs, but I'm still young soul. So I'm coming in here totally different. You know, I think he did a lot of things wrong, but based on what you've already spoke about, you spoke about his immaturity being 23. We talked about how much money he makes, but I'm gonna come from a different direction. He is one of the faces of the organization. I'm coming from the business side of it. It's costing the NBA a lot of headache and losing viewers based on that. So when it's messing with the organization, it is a big deal. He can banish the guns, but he signed a contract. And with signing a contract, it states that there's certain pieces that he cannot do as an NBA player, not because he's the face, just as an NBA player. Now, because he's the face, he's in the public eye. And he has other examples around him if he felt like he was out of place to ask those questions. And right now he's going to go through that heartache. So as we go through the discussion, I will pinpoint some pieces where I felt like he was on the wrong side of this.
Okay.
And I appreciate you bringing it out, Alton. I actually agree with you, OG. I 100% agree with you. Brian alluded to as well as Terrence that he didn't break any laws. I don't know what they I don't know what cliff they done jumped off from, and I don't know what they smoking on. But clearly, this is the same John Morant that was suspended back in March. Let me remind you. Let me remind you guys. This is the same John Morant that was suspended back in March because he got caught bashing a gun. He was suspended 8 games and he lost over $600,000. There was this old saying that 3 strikes and you are out. This is his second time, right? I mean, how much more is we gonna give this fool? This is stupidity. Yeah, OG Terrence did bring out. He is a role model. He even, he got the youth today. Last time I checked, last time I even heard of John Morant, he was doing the little gritty dance, the little gritty. He even had little kids, but he is a father. When Kyrie Irving did, he's not Iverson. Last time I checked, the Grizzlies is better than without him. They had a better season without him, right? They went on a winning streak, but when he came in the rotation, he messed that up, right? He think he Iverson. If you're gonna be a rapper, be a rapper. If you're gonna be an athlete, be an athlete. So many people want to be in his shoes, and he messed that up. I think he should be suspended for a year with no pay. I don't think it's harsh. I think he should be suspended 1 year without no pay. When Kyrie Irving did something, they made an example out of Kyrie Irving. When I'm gonna take it even a step forward when we talk about the Boston Celtics, which I think they should have won because I kept saying Nuggets and Celtics, but that's a whole nother discussion. But at the end of the day, and I want you guys to understand what I'm saying. When Ime Udoka had relations and affairs with somebody in the Boston Celtics organization, they suspended this man for a whole year. John Morant has been associated with more guns than he has with wins. I will say that again. John Morant has been associated with more guns than he has with wins. So we need to make an example because last time I checked, this is not TMZ. This is not some college that we all graduated from. This is the NBA. They supplying the money so they can take it back. This is a private organization. You see what they did with the headbands when they had it, when the guys used to wear the headbands down. Well, the league wasn't playing with that. They said, no, we ain't gonna play that. So they banned headbands. That's why people don't wear it no more. If we do our research. All I'm saying is this. He had 2 parents' household. He trying to be something that he's not. You're not a thug, John Morant. You're not tough. Why do you need a gun? He broke. Now you talk about the city. There are state laws when you carry a gun. Everybody got to have a gun these days, right? Me personally, I don't carry because I know how to fight. But at the end of the day, he's and the first time he did this to a 17-year-old. So I'm not even gonna dive on that. But John Morant, I got a message for you. The NBA will run with or without you. And if you don't get your act together, I'm sorry, my brother. There will be no Ja Morant. There will be Ja Ant.
Okay. Now, young grasshopper. Now, number one, is he an NRA? He's licensed to carry, right? When you say brandishing, was he brandishing it to tell the person, was he robbing somebody, or was he just in a video, or was he taking a picture? So we got to be careful about how we say this because there's been many pictures of people and videos of people with weapons and nothing is happening to them. Now I understand morality, the moral clause in corporations. Now we're talking about corporate masters. He is an employee slave. So anything that steps outside those lines and boundaries, he's going to get slammed. You don't look the part. I need you to cut your hair. You don't act the part. I need you to be, stiff neck. I need you to toe the lines. If you step at one toe off that line, we're going to slam you. I just feel, as an old head looking at this from a practical standpoint, this is a person who is licensed to carry. He probably an NRA supporter, but at the bare minimum, this man, because that would have came out already. If that weapon was not registered and he was not licensed to carry, it would have been done, and good reason. But to suspend this guy for an entire season is way out of bounds, because now you're really trying to say, it sounds to me that you support the corporate master versus the law and whether or not a person can be able to carry a weapon or not. Now, granted, yes, 23 years old. At 23 years old, would I have done that as a young black man in America? Would I have done that? No. At 23, I already had kids. I was married, trying to figure out a way on how I can provide the best for my family. Carrying a weapon was not one of them, and brandishing it and taking pictures with it was something I didn't agree with. And then later I joined the military, and I still have reservations about gun ownership, but it is a right as an American to do it. And for people to just throw an avalanche on this young man, talking about you did not listen to the master. Corporate master said you shouldn't do it. And when you go against the corporation, man, we're going to make sure we're going to throw all kind of whips on you and break your back and make you an example so no other basketball employee slave will get out of line. That's what I see.
Can I add
agree
to
with
that?
that. I
Go ahead,
can't do
OG
anything
Terrence,
but
bro.
agree.
Go ahead. We'll go back, Chance. I'll go ahead and let you have your go ahead and say it, and I'm gonna come after.
I agree with that. At 23, I didn't have it together, and I wasn't. I mean, at 23, I didn't have it together. I wasn't on social media. It wasn't even really a social media at that time.
Absolutely, that's right.
And I think I may have been carrying a pistol, but it wasn't to be flashy. It wasn't to be out there, and it wasn't to be exposed. Now, was I wrong? No, I was licensed to carry. I wasn't in the military at the time. And not to say it was right or wrong, but like I said, a lot of things around the time when I was that age, or a lot of other basketball players or athletes were that age, a lot of things don't get caught on camera or didn't get caught on camera. A lot of things didn't get exposed. So I don't agree just because you have to find these people. I mean, yeah, he's showing it on the internet, he's showing it to the world, or it's being shown to the world. But somebody has to go watch this. Somebody has to raise this up and say, hey, look at what he's doing. Look at this. Look at him. Y'all see him, right? Y'all see what he's doing? Like, I don't agree with it. And I don't agree with it because he is still a 23-year-old young man, no matter what. Like, he has a lot of maturing to do. And yeah, it's the second time around, but we don't know exactly if that's a new video or an old video that was being shown. That's never going to be talked about. All they're going to say is, hey, this guy, he's still doing the same things. And another thing is, like I said, like Brian said, you're going to take his money and you're going to do this and do that. Now, it's different if you hold up and say, okay, this goes against the NBA player policy, what he's done, and these are the rules he broke. Because, yeah, I do understand he is under contract. He did sign a contract to play for the NBA. And, there are certain rules that governs players as far as what they can and cannot do and how to market themselves and how to behave as a public figure. But when we talk about it on open platforms, these things are not coming to the forefront. We don't get to see the player's handbook. We don't get to see what policies are put in place. He's not a felon. So, I mean, really, what did he do wrong? Did he fire the gun? Was he after somebody? Was he pointing it at someone, in what capacity was the gun being displayed in? Rappers do it all the time on videos. Uh, Politicians do it all the time when they take a stance if they're for gun rights or not. Uh, Business owners do it when they take a stance on what side they stand on. So I would need help understanding what makes this so wrong if I cannot see the policies on what he can and cannot do according to his job.
Yeah, good
OG,
point.
But
OG Alton.
I had to come in here with a big bang because they're so supportive of this young man, but he has to get this punishment in some kind of way. But I'm gonna go back to a major point: words are weapons. We can all agree that some of these
Yeah.
words that are being put out in the media can be
Oh no.
or individual and their brand. So when they say brandishing a weapon, was he or was he just holding it and my man caught him in the video? So that takes a lot. He should be social conscious, social aware of what's going on. Because if he knows that his friends are around, they throw on video cameras, he needs to have that conversation with them a long time ago. I do agree with y'all years ago when you're 23, you didn't know what you were doing. You were just having fun because that's what you're supposed to do in those years of having fun in your 20s without any type of limitations because you didn't know how far 20 was going to go. You didn't know what the next end was going to be on that. So that being said, he should be suspended under limitations, and they should mark out those limitations. 21 games, but what is he going to get out of that? Should he be banned into the gym? Should he have certain things he couldn't do? One thing I've seen that is going on is he's cut social ties with the friend who's been showing these videos. Now we did talk about he got in trouble for the first gun. He did show his friends and him at a laser at Pacers game. So these are patterns of misbehavior. Then he was in the mall with the 17-year-old. So all those patterns are part of that thing. Going back to what I said about the business part of it, is he messed up more. They suspended Adoko, like Shaq said earlier about Adoko being suspended. So it's a moral clause. But I think there should be limitations to what it is due to the fact that he is 23. He is trying to be the face of the NBA, and I'm still on his side, man. I mean, I keep him close to me. I don't know what y'all do, but
Oh,
I keep him close to me. Go ahead, Shaq. I'm gonna let you go with it, Shaq.
I mean, no, I piggyback and I support 100% what you say. I just want to say this: Trey Young,
Uh-oh.
Jason Tatum, Zion Williams, who are with all in their 20s, who all show up and work. They're not pointing guns. We're not seeing that. At the end of the day, we can sit right here and say, "Oh, I didn't do this at 23. I did this at 23. I didn't do it." That's a different era now. Every violation deserves a demonstration.
Mm.
When you violate, you got to get demonstrated, regardless. And you got to be able to take the punishment that come with it. I can't sit right here and say, "Hey, we got people paying their money to come and see you play." You have to be set an example now. I don't know what the league gonna do with the punishment, but as I stated earlier, I think that accountability and ownership has to be taken on his behalf. He came out and he apologized the first time, and he did it the second time. And if we let this guy slide, who knows? I'm not assuming because I ain't trying to make an ass out of you and me. But at the end of the day, I'm just saying if we give him another chance, then who to say he gonna do it again? Now, right? He probably didn't point the gun and put other people at harm or anything in that standpoint. But all I'm basically saying is that every violation deserves a demonstration. Basketball is supposed to take a basketball, right? You put it in the goal. You play your offense, you play your defense, and you got your brothers, you got your teammates, and then you got your daddy on the team. We all know who the daddy is, right? And then you got the people in the arena that support you, who's paying to see you play. So you have to be a leader on the court and outside the court. Powerade ain't playing that, which they ain't take no chance with him. Nike ain't playing that, which they ain't take no chance with him. When you are a man, a $200 million man, you have to make better decisions. You either gonna live like your parents or die from your decisions. Simple. Every violation deserves a demonstration. And I
But
keep
why?
saying,
But why are we so hard on? Why are we? And I'm not saying he should not deserve any punishment. That's not what I'm saying.
okay.
What I'm saying is the punishment should be equally distributed across the entire platform of players.
Well, the league need to come up with a policy then that states that if you do the same thing that John Morant does, this is what's going to happen to you. Because I'm
But
gonna show
now
you
are
what's
we?
going
But
Go
again,
ahead.
are we now infringing? Yeah, but are we infringing on somebody's rights?
Moral clause. It has nothing to do with anything about the
But I get it. But we say moral clause just a way to use it as a weapon because we don't like it. We just don't
We
like
don't-
it. So all we're gonna say
we don't
it
want-
doesn't fit the
we don't-
moral clause.
We don't want our players swinging guns. Moral clause. I'm standing with the NBA right now. I'm still a John Morant fan. I'm just saying.
Is it John Morant versus the NBA, or is it John Morant versus other people?
World opinion.
No, it's from the world. The world all agrees that this dude needs to be slammed underneath the underneath the court.
I don't agree with that.
And I don't either. I think, yes, I agree with you, Shaq, just so we have some common ground here. I agree with you that there should be some level of punishment. There should be an evolution of, okay, first time, first violation, you did this. Now, a second violation, we need to do this. But should it be to the extent of a whole year suspension? The man didn't kill nobody, and he has no record.
But hold up. What the guns? Go back to this. But it's not the guns that's killing the people. It's the people with the guns that's taking it.
I got it, but you got governors, that taking family photos with AR-15s and magazines all over the place. You got governors, you got legislators who's taking photos and videos of them shooting their weapons for commercial, for propaganda. Why are we so fixated on John Morant, who didn't fire his weapon? Just a picture of him with this weapon. It's the video of him with his weapon, who's legally able to own it. Why are we so hard on this black man and not so hard on these white people that do the same exact thing? And it's looked positively upon. We should not be so hard on this man, but he should be punished. Yes, because he done violated corporate policy or moral clause. I get it, but to the extent of a full season or half a season, I'm not down with. We're not trying to. People are trying to crush this man because, number one, they don't want to see another black man make so much money. For him to be making this much money, he should be acting this certain way. If he's not acting this certain way, we need to make sure we curb that behavior so we get him in line, lockstep. Like anybody that does not act like this, anyone that acts this way, we're going to do the same thing to you. We're going to slam you. And a lot of these people that are doing these infractions are people of color, are black men that are doing this. Now, he is stupid. Okay. I must say, I'm not trying to. I'm not. I am not going to excuse the behavior because you are in the spotlight. You should learn how to conduct yourself in a fashion that you bring in either credit or discredit upon yourself. Okay, and I did write down one thing that I used to say all the time: if you can't change the people you with, change the people you with. Let that marinate a little bit. If you can't change the behavior of someone that is around you, then you need to change that person out of your circle. So if that guy is hanging with someone that is exposing him, then he really need to think about his circle of influence, his sphere of influence, and move those people out of there. Because I can say I am blessed that I am surrounded by men who, if they see me doing something, they are going to step right into the gap and say, "Hey, man, are you sure that's the right kind of choices you should be making?" we should be
Correct the
filling
behavior.
ourselves. We should be placing people in our lives to help us be better, elevate us. That's just my thought, Shaq. But yeah, he should be punished. But I don't think he should
Okay.
be like a whole season. I mean, come
Okay.
on.
Terrence, what you got to say on that? What you got to say?
So at 21, 22 years old, multi-millionaire, we can't, not one of us could sit on this platform and say we know how to behave at that age with that much money. I know that's right. I know that's right. Not
Hey,
one of us.
absolute. I can't. That's a lot of
Now,
money, bro.
that's a lot of money and a lot of responsibility that you almost earn this money from doing what you love and not having to go out there and work hard. Like, I mean, I'm not saying he didn't work hard to get where he is, but he did what he loved to get there. Another point I wanted to make, not one of us could sit on here and say he's not a thug just because he came from a 2-parent household. That doesn't make you not a thug. That has nothing to do with it. His dad
Wannabe.
seems
He's
to
a
be one of
wannabe. Wannabe
his
thug.
dad seems to be his best friend. His dad seems to be encouraging him, and he's around him. He's been in his life. But what I'm gonna say is, it's thugs out there that come from 2-parent households. It's gangsters out there that come from 2-parent households. That's a choice. That's a choice all day, and we can't say that he is or he isn't. We don't know what he grew up around. But what I will say is, if you're an asshole with $1, if you get $1 million, that increases the asshole or whatever it is. So if he was a gangster with $5, he even more of a gangster with $1 million. It's gonna be even more influence. It's gonna be even more pressure behind that. So I can't say if he's a gangster or not. We feel like he's not a gangster because he's in the league, but it's a lot of guys come from the street that made it to the league because some OG was in the street saying, "Hey, don't worry about this. We got it. You stay over there."
Yeah.
So we can't say that, oh, he ain't a gangster. He ain't a thug. It may look like that because he made it to where he is, but it's a lot of guys got street ties that's in the league that's getting that check.
Hey, we always remember. You done, Terrence? I didn't even cut you off.
Yeah. Go ahead. You could.
Remember, we all remember Hernandez, right? From the
Hernandez, exactly.
From the Patriots. He had
Yeah.
bodies on his back, and we can call gangsters if you want to, but when you got bodies, 5 to 6 bodies on your back, and playing right next to Tom Brady and the rest of the world, and everybody's sitting there cheering, and they didn't see that till way after the Super Bowls were over. So
I mean, he was still putting in work.
Yeah, so he was putting in work like he couldn't be seen. So I do want to caveat on what Terrence was talking about with the dad. Dad is everywhere, but I think I see what dad's position is, and I would have probably played it a little different. Don't know, but if I was in his position, dad probably got a lot of money that Jai is furnishing. So dad wants to go get a house. Jai's probably paying for the house.
They're in the same community. They neighbors.
So if it was me, I would say, Jai, give me X amount of money. I buy my house, and still feel like I can still be dad. Because I think dad is at a position where he can't say nothing because it's like, Dad, I'm not just buying
I believe that.
this. I buy that. I buy this. Do you have a position? Really? Come on, Dad. So I think that it goes back to what Brian said with the circle of friends. I think dad doesn't really have a voice. Dad is just kind of like sheltering him a little bit away from all the other stuff that could be worse.
Right. I mean, go ahead, Bal.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Terrence.
I believe dad could have a voice, but see, that money fogs up everything. I don't want to be cut off. I don't want to be pushed out. I don't want to sound like I'm interfering in what's going on. But the thing is, you got the wrong people around you because if this is how we hanging out, this is what we're doing, bro. Stand to the side. I got this. I'm not ever gonna put you on the camera. I got it. You don't have to worry about that. You know, that's something I'll take care of. You protect the brand. But the people that are around him, they're young guys just like he is. I mean, he's probably taking those same young guys that's in the street, bringing them out. He's not doing the LeBron thing. He hadn't put them under the umbrella and built a business and said, hey, this is your position. This is what I need you to do. You know, I want you to handle this, handle this. He hasn't built himself as a corporation yet. He's young. He hadn't had the right influences around him. Yeah. So at that age, with that type of money, I'm 100% sure everybody's a yes man, even dad.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we sick, son. We hungry, son. Oh, we cold, son. You get
Yeah,
what I'm getting at?
yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
You know, it's almost like, and when you playing house, there you go. We all, when we grew up, we all somewhere, in other words, some little girl, we played house. When you
Mhm.
playing house, you better be careful when the real stuff starts coming at you. Now, they ain't playing no house no more. What I mean by that is he playing this thug life, and somebody's going to challenge him. He's going to be in the open somewhere, and he's bringing what he think is right. And he's trying to live that thug life, and someone's going to challenge him that is from that life. That's going to change the whole world. I get it. He's this $1 million, $1 million player, but he's putting himself in positions either with a circle of influence in areas that people can gain access to him. Like what's the young rapper that was at a local restaurant in his home area, and they rolled up on him and just dealt with him. Yeah.
No.
Young Dog.
So you got to be.
Now that was the guy in California. There was I don't remember his name, but he was at the chicken and waffle place.
Yeah.
They got young Dolph in Memphis as well. So
Yeah.
I mean,
same
I
way.
get that. I get that, Brian. I don't know how deep in the streets he is. I mean, all of us has been in that process where those streets have talked to you, and you may have had a different direction with um, how things are going. You never know if some of them OGs that's in the streets pay for his tennis shoes and pay for cars and stuff, and he just stayed close to them, and they knew to keep the money away from, or keep that life away from him, but he still was connected with it. So we really can't say if he is or not. Back again, that words have weapons. People threw that out there that he's a gangster. He may be throwing those in because somebody told him it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who he associates with. That's not business. I don't want to know. Honestly.
I think what has us all messed up on this is like, brother, you made it to be a multi-millionaire
Mm-hmm.
influence
Mm-hmm.
in the game, and you making the stupidest decisions as far as being where you are in the time that you're there, like without the right people around you,
Right.
without the right coaching, without the correction. I mean, we're looking at it from the standpoint of, the decision making is not there. And we got to look at it, how 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 much structure did you have in the home or during this time when you was becoming this star athlete? How much time you spent in the gym versus how much structure was there then versus how much freedom you have now? They may have kept him in there and say, "Hey, you're gonna do this. You're not gonna get out of pocket. Now I got the money and I got the freedom. I got the power. I'm gonna show the world who I am. I feel like I want to show the world, but this is not it. Like, and so we're stuck on the part of you made it. Like you made it out of the hood. You made it to a bigger platform. You made it to where everybody want to be. Why now, Ja? Why now? So that's what we're looking at. That's what, and like I said, it's stupidity. It is. I can't take that away. I'm not
Right.
I'm not behind that part of it. Like you're definitely being stupid. You've been warned once, you've been warned twice. But I do not feel like at that age everybody's ready. We mature slower, and just to dump that type of money, that's why they stop players from coming in straight out of high school. I mean, it's just not the best decision. You get a guy fresh out of high school and you give him $1 million. He never seen that type of money in his life.
Right.
No mentorship.
With no mentorship. So everything, everybody come out of the woods for. You remember I looked out for you. Remember when I did this, and remember I ain't let them jump on you, or remember you was in the street. I was like, you got to show them. You can't be no punk. They tell you all kind of stuff, and it depends on who's saying it to you to make you feel like you're here or there. Like you feel like you got an image to show all of these other people. It's just like when we see, what's his name, Steven Jackson. Did anybody see that Steven Jackson? Oh, he on the camera. Oh, I'm on old block. I'm over here with the thugs. I'm over here with the. So through your whole career, you was on the. We saw you on the court. You was Steven Jackson. You was this. You was that. Now you're OG. You feel like you need to go to the block. You need to. Oh, I'm a thug. I'm a gangster. I'm still. You know, we still see it.
Yeah.
We still see it. We still see it in some of the older guys. It's like, when you gonna grow the hell up?
Yeah, great point, man.
That's true. That's true. And I appreciate you guys bringing that out in a way for all of us to understand and just to have a great dialogue discussion. So we see the problems, but I just want to know, like, if we could just go around, what are the solutions? What are the solutions? Like, what can help John Morant get through it? Because for me, there's this old saying that an OG once told me. He said, the stripes of a zebra will never change. So I feel like John Morant has to be the change for himself. He has to wake up. He has to seek help, seek question from other people who may have been in that predicament. But what's y'all take on that? What are the solutions? What can help this young man at 23 years old be a leader instead of a following act?
I'll start off, if you don't mind. I agree with everything that Brian said. You have to be the change. You have to change the people. You have to change you and change the people that are around you. That's where it starts off first. Nobody else can fix John's situation. Everybody around him sees what's going on. Everybody else but him. Everybody around him see that, hey, you can lose this at the blink of an eye. But him, he has to be the one to say that first and to say, no, we're not going to move like this. He's a leader. He's a leader of the pack. He's the man with the money. He's the shot caller. He's the one that can make those decisions. It's just like the guys that get their money and they got a big entourage. The entourage ain't gonna never tell you no. They're gonna help you blow the bag until the bag is gone. It's up to you to say no. It's up to you to change the crowd. It's up to you to make those decisions. You have to be the man. You're the man to make the money. You're the man that has to make the decision on how this goes and how it plays out in public. So I think it starts with John Morant. He has to clear out the circle of people and change his mindset, change the mentality. That's where it's going to have to start. To me, that's my opinion.
Appreciate that, Terrence.
I'm gonna let you close it out.
No, you're gonna get in here too.
You go good.
I'm gonna go first so Brian can have the close out. Him and Shaq got to close out. All right, so going to answer what you said, Shaq, there is a solution. John has to understand he's an adult. John has to understand how much money he makes. John has to create his own family value. He has kids. He has situations going on. John has to understand he has generational wealth, and what he's got, he can't make it. He can't mess this chance up. Other thing that John needs to understand, there's other people depending on him, not just his kids. And then he got drivers. He got people taking care of the house. He got this. He got folks that's at the arena cleaning up, things like that. All those lose out on money when he lose out on money. And then John has to understand that he has a social responsibility. And the last thing I will tell you is, John, turn off the camera.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, I don't know what else I can add to what's already been said. He has to understand that it's not about him. He is the situation that he is in is bigger than him. Kind of like how my fellow military brothers can understand is, when you are part of an organization like the military, you don't think individualistically when you're operating in the military. There is a collective, there's something greater than just your individual actions that's higher. He has to understand his representation. He's representing a lot of individuals that is his age, and he can be an influencer or he can be a destroyer. Destroying young mindsets to think that his behavior is normalized and okay, which is not. Or he can be an influencer to say, hey, I made it, you can make it too. You just have to have the right mindset. I mean, what can we do? There's nothing we can do if his mind is set on being destructive. That's with anyone. You can only control yourself. You can't control no one else. So if you have no self-control, then you're bound to be a destroyer.
Appreciate that. Thank all of you. But if we could just go around the room, do anybody have anything going on? And where can the people follow you guys at, for social media wise? If they want to continue having this conversation about Ja Morant, because I got to tell you, education and information changes the conversation, and that's exactly what we did tonight. We changed the conversation, we brought out the information, and we was able to educate in a way that the viewers can understand. So if you guys could, do you guys have any social media, or what's next for you guys?
Hey, I'm currently the group here knows I'm an artist, so I'm currently working on some artwork that's pretty near and dear to my heart, and it's going to be on display at my next big event, which is we have a family reunion. So I'm really focusing in on my artwork and going back to basics with understanding just basic concepts about art and creating it to hopefully elevate me. I've been doing artwork for as long as I can be able to pick up a pencil. But sometimes, and I leave you with this little nugget, family, sometimes you have to go back to basics to improve yourself. When you think you have it going on, sometimes you miss steps because you think you're so great at it. Sometimes you got to go back to basics and do the fundamentals to improve yourself. So that's where I'm at in life.
What about you, OG Alton?
Oh, yo, right now, I'm telling you what's so exciting about what's going on with me. I'm going back into like Brian said, the basics, but I'm going to find the new version of me. And that starts with the health and wealth and a lot of the exercise and doing things like that. So that's where I'm at. People want to find me, just call Shaq. I'm right there next to him. I'm a phone call away.
Appreciate that, OG Alton. Go ahead, Terrence.
Me, I don't have anything to plug. I'm just trying to find my way right now. And then we'll reconnect and revisit this, and then maybe I blow up. I'll be the next multimillionaire. So I have nothing to plug right now, but it's on the way. I'm cooking.
Hey, don't let them fool you. Don't let them fool you. This man is a mastermind when it comes down to business ideas and making things happen. So he may not share it now, but I know somewhere in Terrence's mind, he is cooking up a master plan in business and securing his future for his family. I know that for a fact. Always cooking.
Always cooking.
Always cooking.
But I like the part that OG Terrence said. He said, finding his way. And that's really what Ja Morant has to do. Find his way, right? There's this old saying, you are who you hang around. And what's really holding him back is his circle. So if you're not in a circle and you're not smarter than your circle, you're inside a cage. So when is you gonna get out of that cage and help yourself be better? If you wanna, I heard someone say one time, if you wanna be around somebody that got six figures, hang around people with six figures conversations. He need to hang around people who don't put themselves in that situation. And again, like OG Alton said, turn that camera off. There's a lot of people out there that's doing things that's not showing themselves. And so I just think that we all was able to make a great discussion out of this good topic. You guys even helped me from my viewpoint see the importance, because I was just only seen it one side because I didn't understand the facts. And that's why we got to understand the facts. It's so much questions that we can gain from to understand the root of this problem and get deep into the why did this happen. But ultimately, Ja Morant has to have a conversation with himself. And if he
I
want
agree.
better, if he want better, he will become better. And if he don't want better, he'll continue doing the same thing, but outside the NBA. Well, we appreciate you guys coming on the show. Thank you so much for helping the viewers to understand Ja Morant versus worldly views. I am Shaq. We are Y. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, I am Shaq. We are Y. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And as the OG always say, come this way if you got something to say. We out. We out. We out. This is season 3, episode 10. Drop that beat.